Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a positive spin. Today we're going to be talking about Jaws the Revenge. I'm not going to say much hated on this because this is just universally hated by most people, actually. Now, I have a long history with this film. When it came out, I actually begged my father to take me to see it, and he did. And I think it was one of those things where I wanted to like it so much that I kind of tried to convince myself that I did. And it wasn't until when I rented it on VHS later on that I realized that I just didn't like this film. Um, Pretty big departure in the Jaws franchise. Now, of course, being a completist, most of us who collect DVD, VHS, or franchises of films, we try to get all of the movies, regardless of whether we particularly care for them or not. And this one has been in my pile for quite some time and just never really watched it because I just never had an urge to watch it. So, this was one of the first things we thought of when we decided to do Positive Spin years ago. We were going to do it last year in the summertime for Positive Spin, of course, but didn't get around to it. So, as we're doing Franchise Frenzy, we watched it and decided that now was the perfect time to do a positive spin for Jaws the Revenge. So, let's put a positive spin on it. First and foremost, I actually took to this movie completely different this time. I'm not sure if I'm getting mellow or soft in my old age, but I just it the things that bothered me about it originally didn't bother me that much this time. And I found a lot more to enjoy about the film overall. But I decided to play devil's advocate and figure out things to pick at the same time. Just kind of out of curiosity to see which one would outweigh, if the good would outweigh the bad or the bad would outweigh the good. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised to say that the good really outweighed the bad in this one. All right, so let's get started. I love the opening sequence, and I've said this for years. The death of Sean is it feels like Jaws to me, even though it's a Christmas time and this movie takes place between Christmas and New Year's. It feels like the old Jaws films with Amity. I mean, you have the underwater bit in the beginning, which is really cool. You have Amity Island, which is a cozy little town, and they still portray it as a cozy little town, even though it's festive for Christmas, and I really like that. Um, I like that Sean does what his father does, that did, or whatever. And I think that they have a picture in the police station, which is a really nice touch of Roy Scheider. He was actually asked to be in it, and he declined. So was Murray Hamilton, was asked to reprise his role as the mayor, but unfortunately, I think he declined, but then he died of cancer shortly after. So I like that the mom is back, Ellen Brody, of course. And Sean's kill is pretty brutal and bloody. Like I said, I like that entire sequence. I think it feels like a Jaws movie, in my opinion. The guy that played Sean did a pretty good job. Now, I like Lance guessed as Mike, and this is coming on to the part where after Sean dies, there's a funeral, and of course, his brother comes back. His brother Mike comes back to be with his mom for the funeral. And of course, he has a wife and a little girl now. um, the parts in Amity are definitely my favorite part of the film. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Even the funeral feels really authentic, and the whole small town feel just is right on the money. Then we decide to go to the Bahamas because that's where Mike works as a marine biologist. And we meet Hoagie, which is played by Michael Caine. I've always liked Michael Caine in movies. I like Lance Guest as Mike as well. I don't know. Michael Caine always seems to make movies better, and I know he just did it as this as a paycheck, but I don't know. I thought he was interesting in the film. The dream sequence when Ellen gets attacked by the shark, I think it's effective, and it was always one of my favorite parts in the film, even when I didn't like the movie. I like how this movie's about fear and grief and how fear can overtake. And as far as like Ellen's concerned, she's afraid for her family that this is a revenge from a shark or a monster. They don't really say it's a shark. And I know Joe's going to dive a little bit deeper into that subject. I like the setting in the Bahamas, especially the blue water. I think it's really pretty. I like the relationship between Michael and Ellen Brody. I think it seems fairly genuine. And, even when he doesn't tell her that the shark has come, I guess, to take revenge on the family, he still has a nice relationship with his mom, even though, all the stuff that they've been through. I like the casino for New Year's. This also takes place, like I said, between Christmas and New Year's. And the casino part is really cool. I like the homage to part one, where Mike is doing something and his daughter imitates him. I think that's a really cool homage. I don't like that they kind of spoon feed it to you, but before they do that, it's actually a pretty sweet moment. Um, yeah. Overall, I kind of took to this movie different this time, which kind of surprised me. There are some things in it that I still find to be a bit on the silly side, but to me, overall, the first question that I know Joe asks, and I also ask, is this movie entertaining? And I think there's a lot of entertainment to be had in this film. Is it the greatest movie of all time? No. But I think it's a halfway decent sequel to Jaws, or to Jaws 3, actually. So definitely check this one out, or don't. And don't forget to check out Joe's positive spin for Jaws the Revenge. Physical media matters. And until next time, peace.